happy Halloween. It is Halloween tonight. And it's just going right by like one more day. Um, we live out in the back of Beyond, so we don't ever have any trick-or-treaters. And I have been focusing on my projects. That's all I've been doing. But and I'm completely scattered. So that scattered is going to be the name of this video. I am just going to be dropping stuff into this video, little bits and pieces of stuff I've been doing for the past 2 or 3 days, so you know what I've been up to since I last came on. And so expect it. It's not even going to be in chronological order, but I want to show you something. Look at this. Oh, this is the product of days and days of sewing and crafting. It's my 45 little bags, all in these gorgeous Japanese style prints. I just love them with their funky ties and their wonderful little charms that hang on the outside. I just had so much fun making this project. This was fun. So I know that there are many of you who understand the particular joy, the keen satisfaction of clutching a completed project to your matronly chest and knowing that you're done and you can put it away in its bag or box or wherever it's going, and you can put all your materials away and the tools that it took to make it, and you can move on to the next thing, right? It feels good, doesn't it? So I just had to share this little moment because I just finished up this project right now. So I'm going to set my bouquet of bags off to the side. I am going to fall out of frame and pick up the one I dropped. Okay, here we go. The popping sound you heard was my knees. I'm giving them quite a workout. So before I move on to the rest of the video, I want to show you what I'm doing next. Now, I thought next would be cutting out aprons because I'm going to do, aprons and different other sewing projects. But I'm taking a little segue, a little side crafting trip into the world of mousetrap clips. Have you guys seen these? I found them on Pinterest. I am so behind the times. For all I know, this is a 10-year-old craft thing. I have no idea. But if you look up mousetrap clips on Pinterest, or maybe even here on YouTube, you will see these adorable little usually they're magnetized, you can stick them on the fridge or whatever, clips made out of mouse traps. And you have to take off some of the parts and throw them out, and then you put the clippy thing, which is this goes back on with a little spring so it holds tight. And then you decorate this thing and you can put it on your refrigerator and clip notes or clip a scratch pad for making a list, whatever. You can do all kinds of stuff. Some of these things are so ornate. I saw a Pinterest pin of, I guess she'd done 3 or 5 of these using all this Tim Holtz stuff. If you guys don't know who Tim Holtz is or what Tim Holtz is, it's a brand of primarily paper scrap and crafting supplies, although he has a lot of little charms and appliques and all kinds of stuff, plus tons of things like embossing powders and stamps and stamping equipment, all kinds of neat stuff. And he has a lot of his stuff has a real kind of crusty, antique, steampunky kind of feel to it. Well, this gal had done some of these little clips that were just amazing, just all layers of stuff, all these different techniques that she had used. I mean, it must have taken her 4 freaking ever to make these things. Well, on something that you're not going to sell for more than, I don't know, definitely not more than 10, but maybe not more than $8. Hard to tell. I guess you could sell it for less if you can really whip these things out, but I'm thinking, probably somewhere around $8 or so for the finished product. You have to you have to be careful of your time because you can get so wrapped up in making these things, look exactly a certain way and toddling off to Joann's to buy stuff, even if it's on a 60% coupon. It still costs money, right? Time, gas, all that. So you can really your inventory cost, your eye cost can really get away from you if you're not careful. So what I'm going to do, because I always generally start here when I'm doing something I want to kick out quick, decoupage. I am going to decoupage these things with napkins. I really love this one. So I'll do a decoupage thing. I'll probably distress the sides. The back will be painted. I'll put some stuff on it, some flowers or some, things. Who knows what? Letters. I don't know. Pearls. Well, whatever. I'm not sure what it's going to be. It'll be different for each for each little clip, and I'm going to try to bring them in fairly quickly so that I can, I can keep them well under $10, under $8 if I can. So there you go. I got them at Dollar General. They're the off-brand, and the off-brand really is the best brand I think to use. Oh shoot! Do I have any more? All I have left are the rat traps. I'm going to make big ones out of the rat traps, but I can show you with the rat trap. So what you do essentially is, let me take this out of, take it out of its shuck so I can show you. I kind of figured this out on my own, and I went and found some tutorials that, sort of confirmed that what I was doing was correct. But what you do is this thing comes off. You pull this whole assembly out. You can put it aside to use for another craft project, which I think these little things could be useful in something else, so I'm saving those. Then you take this whole assembly here off. You do that by pulling this out, which frees up this bar in here. All these little things come out. You're going to throw away this part. This one actually, you can just pull this out. But you are going to take all of this out and set it aside because you will be putting this hasp and these two things back on here. After you have decorated, basically done your painting, distressing, stamping, whatever it is you're going to do on the face of this, decoupage in my case. And then you'll put that back because that is what will hold your little, that's your little clippy. So I have been messing around with this. Dollar General is the place to get them. I think they were like just under $2 for a set of 4 of these. So that's a pretty good price. I think the big rat traps were close to $2 a piece, I think. Anyhow, I think because Grant ran up to Dollar General to get them for me the other day. So I'm going to go ahead and, make up the ones that I have. I've got a total of 8 of these. So I will show you those when they're done. I'm going to work on those tonight. I'm still painting. I've just about done with my Victorian sideboard that you're going to see bits and pieces of here. And the next thing I'm going to paint furniture-wise is a very old vanity table that I've had forever, a mirrored vanity. So I'm going to go ahead and paint that up. That I'm actually going to put in inventory to sell. I'm going to use it as display, put a price tag on it. We'll see what happens. So that's next. I've got a lot of furniture that I need to haul out of my storage that I can start painting stuff both for sale as well as for display. So I'm just going full speed ahead. I have tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. Then I have jury duty, the starting the 4th of next week. Who knows how many days that's going to last. Juries don't like me, so I doubt that I'll be picked. But still, I may end up being there every single day until Friday. Who knows? Don't know. So I got to get through that. Then I have a week before my renters move. So during that week, I'm going to be continuing to paint, make stuff. Then when they move out on the 15th, I come in on the 16th and I start moving stuff into the store. Grant and I are going to move stuff for, that night. We're going to be moving stuff. And my son will be moving some of his stuff over there and spending the nights over there. So people see it's not abandoned just because the tenants moved out. And yeah, so that's kind of my broad stroke plans about what's going on. I have been trying to not be hugely selfish and focus on my own stuff constantly. So I've been trying to watch your guys' videos, and I watch a lot of them, and I've been leaving comments on about half of them. So I usually give everybody a thumbs up when I come onto your look at your videos. So I'm trying not to be entirely self-absorbed. Although it sure sounds like I have been entirely self-absorbed if you take a look at my last 5 videos. So anyhow, that is what's going on tonight. So here, in no particular order and in little tiny, hopefully not too boring clips, I am going to show you what I have been up to for the past few days. Well, Heidi ho, my peeps. I'm getting the biggest kick out of sitting here in my little crafting chair and showing you the craziness that surrounds me each day as I make progress towards organization. So I'm just going to do a little 360. Incidentally, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm supposed to be getting ready for a funeral, but I went to bed last night with tendonitis and woke up with it this morning, so I'm not going to be walking anywhere for the next few days. I think I just overdid it. Anyhow, okay, that's a set of curtains that's going in my bedroom. Got to get washed and put up. And let's see, what do we have? Oh, here's my project board. I haven't started writing on it because I can't find my dry erase markers. That's just stuff from the other room that I need to put away. Oh, here's some marvelous fabric I bought at... I bought this at Walmart years ago. It's that's intended to be all faded like that. It's like that way. It's that way throughout the piece. It's like a tie-dye weirdness. And I think I'm going to make handbags out of that, tote bags. This fabric here was it was on my bassinet after I was born. My grandmother made... you guys have seen them from the 1940s and 50s. Those, they used to put babies in those baskets that were up on a stand. Sometimes they had wheels, and they had a big fluffy skirt, sometimes a canopy over them. They probably still do that now. I don't know. But anyway, this was the fabric that my grandmother used on my bassinet, and it was just lovely. And somewhere I have a picture of it. But there's quite a bit left over, so I'm going to do something with that. I have this owl fabric. The reason I got it was because I was thinking about my friend Angel Sharam, who really was into owls. And I thought, oh golly, I think I need to make Angel a tote bag because she sent me a tote bag for Christmas one year. And I still haven't done it. And Sharon, if you're watching, I think that's going to be your Christmas gift this year. I think I'm going to make you a tote bag. Then I've got other various and sundry fabrics that I've pulled out that I want to do something with immediately or that go somewhere else. Remember I told you that I had made something out of... Well, I might not have told you. I had made some things from my t-shirt yarn. Well, this is one of them. This is a bath mat that I had made years ago. It's a big, heavy bath mat. I knitted this. It's a knit piece. But I washed it and it began to come apart, and the reason is because when I put the ends together, I just hand sewed them instead of tying them securely or machine sewing them or whatever. So I've changed the way I make my yarn now from t-shirts, and it won't be prone to unraveling like that. So anyhow, I will probably I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing. I'm not throwing it out. I'm going to do something with it. But that represents several t-shirts right there. Let's see how many t-shirts it took to make this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It took the bottom section of 7 t-shirts to make this little piece. I What else? Just various and sundry stuff. Oh, there's a book that we got at the Dollar Tree. Grant and I love Dollar Tree literature. It's really good. Oh, there's my old Macintosh I found that's got Photoshop on it, so I can complete my logos and sign for the store and then tell you guys what it's called. All right, here I have, let's see, 6 brand new plastic tubs, rather large ones, and I've consolidated 10 various and sundry plastic tubs about that size into this space right here. I had a sideboard that was sitting here, a crusty old sideboard that needs to be painted. That's outside underneath my pop-up where I'm going to be doing the painting and stuff. So I'm trying to make this room a little more functional for the next 6 weeks or so while I'm waiting to move stuff over to the store. So anyway, this is just, what you see here is just part of my fabric stash, and these boxes are full to the absolute top. I figured it would make them a little more sturdy when I stacked them if they were completely full. Anyhow, this is probably a third of my fabric stash. So I went through, I looked at each and every piece, and I pulled out quite a few pieces, as you can see over here, things that I want to start real soon. For projects I want to start real soon. All right, so what else is going on? And there's little Miss Otter. She says, I don't want to be on camera this morning. Look at my tail. What do I have over here? Oh, I have my cup of coffee Grant just brought me, bless his heart. And just junk sitting here and there that needs to be put away. Oh, something else I wanted to show you. Quite a few years ago, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, I photographed some Valentines that are hanging on my walls, and I uploaded them to, I guess you can probably see it as well here as anywhere else. I uploaded them to Spoonflower and Made Fabric. So I have all these little motif patches, I don't know what you'd call them, that I made from Valentines that I've got hanging in my bathroom. And I just love them. I think it turned out really beautifully. This is how the fabric comes. It comes in a big, just like regular fabric. I think it's 45 inches wide. And, I can cut the little motifs out and use them individually. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be making stuff out of these Valentines that I photographed. And I have a third. That's part of the third style that I have. It just was the edge piece. So anyway, I'm going to finally start using that. I've never used them. I have a bunch of these left over. I bought these years ago for my store. The one I had back in the 90s. And so I am going to give these a good wash and do some sort of embellishment and have those. And that brings us back around to the curtains. So I will be doing a lot of sitting today. Grant's going to be doing a lot of toting for me, and yeah, so that's my day, and I just wanted to say howdy and let you guys know what I'm doing, and I'll talk to you later. Well, our power is out up at the house because of the fires, but down here in town, they have power, so we thought we would come down and do some shopping. We just came out of the local thrift store that I love so much, and we found, show them what we found, just one of those is good.
This one, there's something loose inside of it. It's taped together.
Oh,
it may or may not be broken. I don't know. But
it's probably a little knife that has a handle. It's a cheese knife. That's what's inside there.
Okay.
So we can show them this.
Well, you want me to cut the tape and we'll find out. We'll look at it.
Okay.
We'll do a reveal.
Okay, we'll do a reveal. And it'll have a China handle, so you'll want to be careful not to let it drop. Anyhow, we found 55 pieces for $45.
No, it isn't. See, the reveal revealed something else.
So that's to keep it aerated.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, we can put it back.
But I don't want it loose and rattling is the thing.
Let me just take this out.
Yeah.
And if you want to hand me that little thing there that you just put down, there we go. Okay, I wanted you guys to get a close-up of the pattern. I think it's so pretty. Can't see it. It's Noritake, made in Japan. Camilla is the name of it. And so we figure we can sell the soup tureen and maybe another piece and get all of our money back. It was, like I said, 55 pieces for 45 bucks. Well, my peeps, it is a new day, and I wanted to show you my progress on these little bags. I just love these things. I ended up with 45 of them, but I wanted to show you what I finally ended up with. Instead of using leather, which was a little too stiff, didn't tie nicely, I ended up with these two colors of seam tape. I thought that was just lovely. And here's our little charm on the side. I think they turned out beautifully. So there we go. There's just a couple for you to look at. I am putting my, this is my work box for tonight. I'm going to sit with Grant after dinner, watch a show on TV, and I'm going to finish up these little bags. They're all sewn. They just need to have their ribbons run through them and the little charm added to them. So this is what I'm going to work on tonight. But right now, I am headed outside to do some painting. Well, my peeps, today is all about painting. This is the board that I'm going to use to paint the sign that hangs over the parking section. Then I've got some more boards over here prepped up and ready to go. This big one here, that's a full sheet of plywood. And what I'm planning on doing is standing it on its end so it's long up and down, and doing a mermaid on that one. Then I've got a couple more pieces over here. They'll probably have days and times of open, this and that, whatever I need to paint I can do on that. But I'm going to have two main signs. It'll be this big one and then this smaller one. Now, I also need to get working on painting my display furniture. I am finally going to deal with this Victorian sideboard. It's kind of a mess. It's delambed on the top, and its little pieces, parts are all kind of messed up, but that's okay because this is not to sell. This is for display. So I'm going to get kind of wild and crazy on that. There's its back section, and then here's the top that I need to glue. A couple of the little pieces, parts came out here, and this section came off, and then this lamination needs to be glued and clamped. So, this is, I've got a few little things to do on this, but it's no big deal because, again, I'm going to do some sort of wild paint job on it, and it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be interesting. So my color scheme is that white that you saw. That's called Dover White. I got it from Sherwin-Williams. I got it in the Resilience type of paint, which is a wonderful paint. Expensive, but worth every dime. I also have this Black of Night, kind of it's not a super dark black, it's almost a grayish black, and I thought that would be nice. So that's going to be the color scheme, basically. So my plan for this piece is I want to, get it glued up, and then I want to do a black crackle finish over the wood that all I'm gonna do is hit this with a little bit of sandpaper, just kind of, brush off the dirt, and then I'm going to crackle paint on top of that. So it's got a really crusty, interesting finish. So that is what I'm gonna do today. I've got this top cornice piece, whatever you call it, glued up, but clamping it is difficult because the little pieces have warped. So I'm just hoping that I've got enough of the wood glue on there to give me a fairly tight bond, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to fill in all my little cracks and corners with some latex, not some latex, with some silicone caulking. And I think between the wood glue and the silicone that should hold. Then of course I'm going to paint it into place as well. So this is what I use to do the crackle paint. This happens to be a Sherwin-Williams product. I've used this crackle base from, other manufacturers as well. But all I do to prepare, I'll show you, is there's my handy dandy Hexol. I just scrub this thing down with Hexol a little bit. See, it's not perfect. It does not need to be. Well, it's 12 noon, just about, a little bit beyond. Grant has gone to the hardware store. I've already been out painting. I'm going to come out and show you in a bit. But here's my box of bags I need to finish. I think I'm going to take the next hour, finish those up, and then I'm going to take you outside and show you what I've been painting. Okay, let's take a peek at the painting project and see where we're at. These drawers are waiting for their black paint. They've already been painted with the crackle finish, as has that cornice piece there. Now, I painted this piece yesterday, and you can see that it actually turned out beautifully. It's got that crusty, rusty finish that I want. Didn't crackle quite as much as I would have wanted it to, but I still got a nice, a nice texture on it, and that's what I was looking for. I got all my little bags made up and all the little strings threaded, but I ran out of these little guys, the charms that I hang on the sides of the bags. I needed 18 more, so I went through my supply and I found some really pretty little charms, but they hadn't been completed. They were just the charm. They were like this. They weren't on the bezel with the hanger. So I counted out 18 little bezels and I got them all put on, and now I'm attaching the hangers to them as well. So once this job is done, I will put them on the remaining bags, and that project can be put in a box and stuck in with the rest of the inventory. Well, here's an idea for you. So you can see over there I've got my mouse traps, at least the backs of my mouse traps painted, and I had been using this small brush here. I love these filbert brushes. They're just so useful for so many things. And I had this about a third of the way full of water, and I would rinse my brush out, and then I would start on another color and rinse it out again. So I ended up with this really interesting color of wash water, this kind of strange beigey sort of rose color. And I was going to dump it down the sink, and I thought, you know what? Maybe I can reuse that. So I got out my coffee filters, and I am tinting my coffee filters with the wash water from my brush. So I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. I'm going to take them out, pat them between some paper towels, and who knows? Not quite sure how they're going to turn out. I might also take and tint this water. After I pull these out, I might tint this water a deeper rose color, and then fold those into quarters, and then you kind of dunk the folded point into the water, and it absorbs up into the coffee filter, and it gives you that ombre effect. So it's going to be darker in the center and they go out to the lighter color on the outside. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, but I'm going to give it a go. Okay, so this is how they've turned out so far. I use a little bit of red paint and deepened the color. Then I dipped them, excuse me, I dipped them, just point side down and then squeezed it out immediately. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unroll these and I'm going to lay them loosely on this plate to dry overnight. And we shall see how it works. I think this is going to work. I really do. I've got that rose color, this kind of blushy ombre color, and then this sort of purplish color. I see rose garlands or big peonies. I don't know what I'm going to make out of those, but I think this is going to work out really well. I have some water left there. I'm going to probably, if these turn out as well as I think they're going to, I'm going to go ahead and tint up quite a few more and have them in reserve. Yeah, this is all working out according to plan. I love it when that happens. Oh my gosh, look how these turned out. Absolutely beautiful. There's the rosy one, the kind of purple, and then this lovely pinkish color. I just love them. All of that beauty out of a bunch of those things, coffee filters, and some scuzzy paintbrush water that normally would be dumped down the drain. I mean, who would have thought of that? Now that is recycling, especially if these had been used. Now, we don't use this kind of coffee maker anymore, but if we did, I would be putting these aside after we made coffee because that's just how nutty I am. I want to show you something else too. I forgot to show you this the other day. I got these from Wish. I think it was $3. I got all these pairs of tiny little unicorn earrings. And I think for $6, including shipping, I got 50, I think there's 50 of these adorable little plastic kid rings. I mean, these are cute. I thought they would be really tacky, but they aren't. They're just as adorable as they can possibly be. And the reason, oh, look at this one with the ladybug, how cute. The reason I got this stuff is I wanted to have something that I could do one of two ways. Either I'm going to have like a giveaway section where when people bring in their kids, they can choose something like a freebie thing. Or I might have a little section in the store that's specifically for kids to buy their own stuff, and everything would be $1. So I think, I'm not sure which way I'm going to go, but I've been collecting, Coolio stuff like that to do something with. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go paint stuff. Oh, these little mousetrap note holders are turning out so freaking cute. Look at that Paris one. I love it. And the little birds. This bird, somebody out there is going to know about that bird. And then the butterfly one, I love that. That's just a simple little one. Yeah, I'm just digging these so much. I've got some big ones over there. You can kind of see them. They're red. Those are rat traps, and they are kind of a Christmas motif. And these are, okay, I've got a Paris one there, another Paris one, and then of course I always have to have a peacock hanging around somewhere. This is peony number 1, the first one I've made. I made a whole lot of mistakes. You can really see how the proportion is wrong on the side. I've got to change the shape and size of these lower petals, but I'm kind of getting it. I'm kind of getting the idea. I've got to make some edits, and we'll see if the next one is better. But boy, that was fun to make. Again, I used all my little coffee filters there. So I will show you the next one too. I could not be more pleased with the way these little things turned out. I think they are so darn cute. Of course, you put them on your refrigerator and they are magnetized, and then you put your notes or your kids' artwork or pictures or whatever under there. Some of them have the clip going to the top, but most of them have the clip going to the bottom. Aren't they cute? I love this one. And then I'm doing some large ones as well. And let's see here. There, you can see it better there. That's a rat trap, obviously. And I did a couple with a Christmas theme. They'll probably end up having to be put away for next year. I doubt that I'll do a whole lot of sales. And plus, you know, holiday themed clipper thingies, I don't know that they're going to sell as well as something that you'd leave up all year long. But I could not resist doing something holiday. So there we go. Now I still have the others I need to finish as well. So I'm going to work on that. All right, well, I think it's time to upload this lengthy and scattered video. I just checked with my jury duty call-in number, and I don't have to go tomorrow. I have to call in tomorrow night to see if I go in on Tuesday, which is taking, a huge load off me. That means I can work late tonight. I don't have to worry about getting up early, and so I'm going to get back to doing some crafting, and I'll just talk to you guys later. Bye.